In another video, we referenced the principle of double effect. If you missed that one, here is a link to it. But in this video, I'd like to discuss another principle of the natural law that is indispensable in the practice of bioethics. This is the principle of non-contradiction. Something cannot be and not be at the same time. I can stand before a white background, I can stand before a black background, but not both. I can be upside down or right side up, but not both. In the same way, an act cannot be both right and wrong, both moral and immoral. For instance, in some states, it is permissible to abort an unborn child at any time during gestation. These same states have laws on the books that stipulate that one who kills a pregnant woman is liable for double murder. This is a clear violation of the principle of non-contradiction. Those who accept these laws that contradict each other cite circumstances that justify the contradiction. However, the goodness of an act has nothing to do with the circumstances that surround it. This notion has its roots in the Greek philosopher Socrates. He postulated that if one wants to know if an act is good, one must look at the act outside of any human circumstance. This is also a basic doctrine of Catholic moral teaching, establishing that there are actions that are inherently good or inherently evil apart from the circumstances. Adultery is always wrong. It doesn't matter if the guy is really cute. Stealing is always wrong. It doesn't matter if I really wanted a Sony PS4. Some actions are neutral, but an action that either upholds, supports, or is in harmony with the natural law, or an action that breaks, transgresses, or ignores the natural law is not neutral. It is either good or it is evil, and it cannot be both good and evil at the same time in the same way. At times, it is the circumstances or even the emotions that can cause confusion on this subject. For example, in healthcare ethics, we may see a patient who is suffering from a long-term illness. The family of this patient may wish to help the person be at peace by ending his life before nature does so. If they seek medically assisted death, it is considered euthanasia. This is a moral evil, as it transgresses the natural law that we must not kill. It also contradicts a doctor's Hippocratic oath to do no harm. Yet we know that there are those who would argue that this type of assisted death is merciful and kind, showing true compassion. Making that person as comfortable as possible in what ways are medically available is certainly showing compassion. Assisting that person in seeking what healing is available is also very just. If that person's life is nearing the end and modern medicine cannot offer a cure, the most charitable and compassionate response is to be with that person in his final days and to help his natural passing be as painless as possible and hopefully filled with prayer and love. It is not wrong to give this suffering person medication that will help alleviate the pain, but it is wrong to give this person medication that will stop his heartbeat. Every situation in life is complicated by extraneous circumstances, and this is why the principle of non-contradiction is not only necessary, but also vitally important. It teaches us to evaluate a situation for those moral truths that are present but not immediately clear to us. We need to establish which is truly good and that which is truly evil, and then move forward to make a decision that is just and good. This does not discount the importance of the circumstances, but it acknowledges that circumstances do not have the power to change the nature of an act if it is intrinsically good or intrinsically evil. The Catechism of the Catholic Church states in paragraph 1756 that there are acts which, in and of themselves, independently of circumstances and intentions, are always gravely illicit by reason of their object, such as blasphemy, perjury, murder, and adultery. This helps us better understand the nuances of ending another life. For example, you have words such as euthanasia, murder, abortion, suicide, infanticide, homicide, all of which are moral evils. Yet in some situations, the ending of another's life is not considered murder. This is based on the definition of murder being the ending of an innocent life. Direct and intentional killing is homicide and gravely evil. When death of another person comes out of self-defense, and the act is to preserve one's own life or the lives of others that you are responsible for, this is not taking an innocent life. In this case, it is just defense. This also applies in a war which is considered just, where it requires the protection and defense of innocent lives that are being threatened. Defining the terms enables us to more clearly see how one act is intrinsically evil and can never be said to be good, while another act can be good, even if it has a sad consequence, such as a life ending. Thus, murder is always wrong. It will never be good. Yet, just defense is not murder.